So in this question we are going to draw the epicycloid. So first thing we have to know that what is epicycloid. So what is the difference between the cycloid and the epicycloid? So first we have to discuss about that. Then only we can understand what is the difference between these two things. Okay. So cycloid means we are going to rotate a circle, rolling a circle over a flat surface. At the same time, we are going to follow the trace the path of the point which is placed over a rotating circle. So now consider this is a flat surface. We are going to place a rolling circle over here. Okay. So we are going to place a point at the circumference of this rolling circle. Then we are going to rotate this. So when we rotate this circle over a flat surface for one complete rotation, so it's going to travel from the point 2 to 5. So this is the total distance traveled by the circle. At the same time, the point placed over the circumference is going to trace the path. So that's what the cycloid. Okay. So epicycloid, we are going to roll the circle over another circle. Okay, consider the outer surface. So over this circle we are going to roll this. So from here, so from 50 degree we are going to start. We are going to place a point at a circumference of a circle. Then we are going to rotate this. So for one rotation. So for every 45 degree you can trace the path. It starts from here and goes upward. Then after another 180 degree is going to cover this distance. So we start from 50 and it's end 145. Okay, so at the same time we are going to trace the path of this point when it's rotating over another circle. So this is what epicycloid. Okay, so let read the question. So here this is the question. Draw an epicycloid generated by a rolling circle of diameter 40 mm. So rolling circle diameter is 40 mm and a directing circle of diameter 160 mm, 160 mm. So we are going to rotate this rolling circle over the directing circle. Okay. Then after generating the epicycloid, we are going to draw the tangent and normal at any point. Okay. So first we have to write the given data. So the data available in the question is rolling circle diameter which is 40 mm, directing circle diameter is 160 mm. Okay. So after this we have to find the subtended angle. So subtended angle means just now we saw that we starts from 50 and it's n over 145. Okay, so what will be the displacement of this circle from where to where? The distance covered by the rolling circle over this directing circle. So we have to find this inclination. So 50, 50 to 145. Okay, so it's around 95 guitar. So it's around 95 degree. So it starts from 50 to 145. You can see this. So it's going to roll over here from here to here. So we have to find this inclination. That's what a suspended angle. So we are going to find the theta value, suspended angle. So this is the formula. So radius of generating circle divided by radius of directing circle into 360 degree. So radius of generating circle, we know that diameter of a rolling circle is 40 mm. So we take radius 20 and radius of directing circle is 80 into 360. Putting up, we got the 90 degree. So this is a subtended angle of a circle. So a rolling circle. Okay. So now we can start with the directing circle. So directing circle radius is 80 mm. So you can take directing circle radius then make an arc. And you can place a point O over here. You have to identify the center point of a directing circle. So you can place O and we make an arc with the radius of a directing circle. So from O we have to draw a line. Okay. So now we have to mark a point P over the circumference of a directing circle. So you can take point P over here. Okay. So after this we are going to draw the generating circle or a rolling circle. We call it as a rolling or generating circle. So you must take the radius of a rolling circle. So radius of a rolling circle is 20. So we know that the diameter of a rolling circle is 40. So we can take 20 as a radius. Take point P as a center. Make an arc. So we can get the center point of a rolling circle. Okay. So now we complete the rolling circle over here. So after completing this rolling circle, we have to divide this rolling circle into 8 equal parts. So how we are going to divide this circle into 8 equal parts? So we extend this line. So this is a diameter. You can take the center point of this rotating circle as a O dash. Okay. So we have to draw a perpendicular line from point O dash. We have to draw the diameter line in this direction. So now we divide the circle into 4 equal parts. So we know that to divide the circle into 8 equal parts, we have to take 45 degree. So we divide this circle into 8 equal parts. I can give the name. So keep it in mind, your font should be vertical. Okay, don't change the orientation of the text with respect to the diagram. The font should be vertical. Okay, so we complete this rolling circle. So after this we have to find the distance traveled by this rolling circle for one complete rotation. Okay, so from here, so we are going to start from here. If you complete one rotation in clockwise direction, what will be the distance covered by this rolling circle over the directing circle? So that's what the subtended angle. So we found that, which is 90 degree. Okay, so from this point O, we are going to take point O as a reference, and OP we have to place the protractor, then 90 degree, because we found that subtended angle is 90 degree. So we can extend the line from point O. So this will be the end point. So this is the total distance covered by the rolling circle. Okay, so we found this total distance. Okay, so So after dividing this circle into 8 equal parts, we have to draw the extent that each division. Okay, so we have to take O as a center and O1 as a radius. Then we have to make an arc up to the end point. So we are going to construct the boundary of a epicycloid. Then we have to take O2 as a radius and make an arc up to the end point. Then O3 as a radius, make an arc. You can see that point 3 and 5, point 2 and 6, point 1 and 7 is lies in the same arc. Okay. Then O4 as a radius and make an arc up to the end point. So we divide the circle into 8 equal parts and we project the 8 division up to the end point. Okay. So after projecting these 8 corners, we have to project the center point of the rolling circle also. So we have to take O and O dash as a radius. Then we can make an arc up to that end point. Because over this arc we are going to get this position of the center point for each 45 degree of rotation. So over this arc which is projected from the center point of the rolling circle, we are going to get the center points. Okay. So after projecting this 8 divisions of a rolling circle, so we have to divide this subtended angle into 8 equal parts. Then only we can place the center points at a different 8 different position. So to get that we have to divide this 90 degree into 8 equal parts. So 90 divided by 8, which is 11.25. So we are going to take that inclination over here by taking OP as a reference. We are going to make an inclination 11.25. So we place a point over here. Then we are going to get the center point. So from O we have to extend the line up to the arc which is projected from the center point of a directing circle. Okay. So we got the center point over there. So we can give the name. This is C1. Okay. After this, what we are going to do? So we have to take O dash and C1 as a radius. Because we are going to divide this total sector into 8 equal parts. So we can take this O dash C1 as a radius. Go to C1, make an arc. Then go to the, we can take that as a C2. So this point is a C2. Then with the same radius, C2 as a center, make an arc. You can get the another point, which is C3. C4. C5. C6. C7, and this one is C8. Okay, so like this we got 8 divisions. So now we are going to draw the connect this C1, C2, C3 up to point O. So we are going to take this center point C1, C2, C3, C4 up to C8. By using this, we are going to we are going to get the point P1, P2, P3. By connecting those points, we can construct the epicycloid. So the remaining procedure is same. What are the things we have followed in the cycloid? We are going to take this C1, C2 as a center and a rolling circle radius, and we are going to make a arc over the arc which is projected from the 8 divisions. So after this, we are going to take the rolling circle radius, which is 20 mm. Okay, go to C1, C1 as a center, make an arc on the arc which is projected from first division. Then C2 as a center, make an arc over the arc which is projected from second division. So this is second arc. Then C3 as a center, make an arc over the third division. So this is the arc comes from third division. You can make an arc over here. Then C4. So it's going to touch the fourth arc. You can see that it's just touching the fourth arc. Then C5. So after C4, we are going to make an arc on the right side. So in the fifth arc division. So this is fifth division. So we make an arc over the arc which is projected from fifth division. Then C6 as a center, make an arc on the sixth division. Then C7, make an arc on the seventh division. Then C8 is going to touch the bottom surface. Okay, so we got the point P1, P2, P3 up to P8. So we have to place that point. This is P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, and here P8. So by connecting these 8 points, we can construct the epicycloid. So now we are going to connect those points. We have to start from point P, then from P to P1, and P1 to P2, P2 to P3, then P4, then from P4 to P5, then P5 to P6, P7, and P8. So you can see this is the epicycloid. Okay, so we complete this epicycloid. So we first generate the directing circle, then we extend the diameter line. Over here we draw the rolling circle, then we divide this rolling circle into 8 equal parts. After that we found this subtended angle by using this formula. So by taking that inclination, we find the endpoint of a epicycloid. So after finding this endpoint, we divide this circle into 8 equal parts and project the 8 division up to the endpoints. Okay. So after dividing this and projecting these points to the endpoint, we divide this sector into 8 equal parts. Through that, we got this number of center points. Okay, after getting the center point, we take the direct rotating circle radius as a radius, then C1 as a center, we make an arc on the first division, then C2 as a center, make an arc on the second division, then C3, make an arc on the third division. Okay, so like this we can complete the cycloid. We complete the cycloid.